I'm gonna start by placing our glass into a slice of tomato, and then we're gonna spin that around a little bit, and then take out the middle, just like that. Then I'm gonna pick up the rings, and then we're just gonna set those aside for now. And then going back over here, I'm gonna take the rest, and we're just gonna start chopping this up. You wanna chop them up really, really finely, and we're just gonna keep cutting these until they're nice and small. Now that we've chopped up all of our tomatoes, I'm just gonna pick this up and add it to our mixing bowl. And then we're gonna add a few more ingredients in there. Then here I've got some fresh chives, and I'm just gonna use my scissors today to chop these right into here. Makes it a lot easier. You could also do some parsley, cilantro, green onions, whatever you like. And to that, I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. This is gonna make it nice and thick. And then I'm gonna take 2 large eggs and pour those in. And to season, I'm gonna start with a little bit of salt, some freshly cracked black pepper, and I always like to add in a little bit of garlic and herb seasoning to my eggs. And now I'm gonna start by poking our eggs, breaking up that yolk a little bit, and then we're gonna mix everything together. So I'm gonna mix all that flour, make sure it's very well combined with those tomatoes and eggs. And now it's time to cook our tomatoes. I'm just gonna place these nice and evenly spaced out into our pan. Put this one right in the middle. And then I'm gonna use a small ladle to get a little bit of that egg mixture. And then we're just gonna pour a little bit into each one of our tomato slices. Let's do our next one over here. And I have the pan on medium-low. You don't want it to be too hot, otherwise the eggs will cook and the tomato won't. And then let's get our last one over here. Perfect. All right, now I'm gonna pop a lid on these, and then we're just gonna let them cook for a couple more minutes, and then we'll be ready to flip them over. All right, it's been a few minutes. I'm gonna take the lid off, and now it's time to flip these over. Oh yeah, that cooks so perfectly. I'm really happy with how that looks. Now let's gently flip these over so that the other side can cook. Ooh. All right, so I'm just gonna let these cook for another couple of minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat. All right, our little tomato patties are all done. I'm gonna start placing them onto a plate over here. And I'm just gonna use my spatula to take them off. These look and smell so delicious. Look at how beautiful our little tomatoes look. I'm gonna make them look even prettier by sprinkling on some fresh parsley. All right, let's dig in. I'm gonna cut one open and show you guys how well that cooked. I'm gonna go for this little piece here. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's amazing. So good. Let's start by adding some cheddar cheese and some marbled cheddar cheese into our air fryer. And we're also gonna need some truffle cheese. Then add a cheese blend and 1 cup of cream and a tablespoon of Worcestershire, a little Dijon mustard, and some all-purpose flour. And now to season, I'm gonna start with some salt, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of paprika, and some garlic powder. And now we need to give this a little mix. Just get that flour and spice mixture all in there with our cream. And there we go, that looks perfect. Let's pop this into our air fryer, and we're just gonna cook it until that cheese is all melted. All right, our cheese is all done.
I already wanna eat that.
All right, now we need to give this a mix. Break up all that cheese in there and mix it all together. Get all those flavors in. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. There we go, that is beautiful. So now I'm gonna add some cooked elbow macaroni in there, and then we're gonna give this a gentle mix. Get that cheese mixed in with all that macaroni. All right, there we go. That looks perfect. And now I'm just gonna take some Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and I'm just gonna sprinkle those all on top of our mac and cheese. And on top of that, I'm just gonna add some butter. And let's just do one more over here. And then I'm just gonna take some chopped jalapenos and just put those right there. And then we're just gonna put this back in for a couple of more minutes. While that finishes cooking, I'm just gonna take some biscuit dough, which I've cut into half, and then we're gonna roll it out and then twist it, take one end, and just kind of pull it through like that, and you should have a little knot. And then we're gonna take some melted butter, and I'm gonna add some salt to that, some garlic powder, and some oregano. We're also gonna need some shredded Parmesan cheese and some freshly chopped parsley. And then we'll give that all a really good mix. There we go, that looks perfect. And then we're gonna take some of that butter mixture and just brush it on to our little biscuit rolls that we made over here. And there we go, all done. Now I'm just gonna take these and place them onto our air fryer tray, and then we'll be cooking these very shortly. All right, our mac and cheese is all done.
That looks perfect.
Doesn't it? And let's take out our dinner rolls. Wow, those look so good. Okay, let's dig in. I'm just gonna go right in the middle here. Get a little bit of everything. Oh my goodness, look at how good that looks.
That looks like the most perfect mac and cheese.
All right, let's garnish this with a little bit of fresh parsley and a little bit more of that Parmesan cheese. There we go. And let's add some dinner rolls to that. Perfect. All right, let's eat.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that truffle cheese made a big difference. All right, let's try these dinner rolls. They look so cute. Look at them. That is the perfect side for the mac and cheese that we made.